know in the UFC, smashes everybody. Everybody's scared of him. Nobody calls him out.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Till will be scared of him. He'd love it, Till, wouldn't
he? He loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Till's. They've been going back and forth.
Yeah,
I think
he
Till's
loves
the
it.
guy for him.
Definitely. What fight that'd be?
And the stand-up wise, Till has a massive advantage, and then on the ground, Usman should have an advantage. Yeah. So it's a very interesting fight. Usman's a fucking tank too. That guy's a fucking animal, man.
Well, yeah, I've not seen too much of him, but
it's because everybody's scared of him. He can't get fights.
Well, there you go.
Usman is a fucking stud. I mean, that guy is no joke. He like. There's very few people calling that guy out.
Yeah, but Till will be loving that.
Oh yeah, Till's the one that's calling him out.
Yeah, there you go. He thrives on stuff like that. I've known Darren since he was 16 years old, and we used to train together like Muay Thai back in the day. He used to come over to my gym, Bad Company, with his coach, and we used to work together, and I'd pad work him and do bits with him. And he's always had that attitude, and never been scared of anyone. Always been like, yeah, whatever, bring it on, bring it on.
I believe him. There hasn't been a single guy in the UFC with one fight that's got as much hype as that guy. You know, one fights Cowboy, smashes him. I mean, you see what he did to Cowboy.
Yeah,
Cowboy's
well, everyone knew then he's the real deal as
he's
well.
Always been special. He's one of these kids, like when I seen him growing up, he's one of these kids that just comes and he's special. And I mean, the city's behind him, everyone, because he comes to our gym where I train, Four Corners Gym with John Gillies and Bawley and all them, and Mick and Alan. And he comes down there, sticks his head in, but he doesn't train. But I've trained there, but he comes and sees us, and he's a great guy. But his coach, Colin Heron, I grew up with kind of, because I was trained with Ty Master Sken, and we used to do demos and stuff, because believe it or not, I used to be all right. And but Colin was always a little bit better. And since then, he's got Carbon Gym, and he's had UFC fighters from Liverpool. But he's got this star in Darren, and the whole city he gets a bit like him in Leeds. They just get swamped by people.
Now, was this when Darren was fighting Muay Thai that he became popular?
Yeah, well, when he fought Muay Thai, didn't he? He were always like one of the most naturally talented kids you would ever see.
He's with Simon Audley, then a different coach.
Yeah, he used to come down to our gym, and he'd have a fight coming up, and he would just be wiping the floor with everyone. He didn't even really train hard back then either. He used to come down, he was a young kid, he'd mess around, he'd run riot, and didn't really hardly train, but still turn up, fight and win. Since then, someone with that natural talent, he's now got that dedication, that hard work. So someone who's that naturally talented and who's going to work that hard, that's going to be a force to be
southpaw.
Force to be reckoned with.
When he stepped in and caught Cowboy with that left elbow, did you see that fight? When he stepped in and just drove up that elbow and smashed Cowboy's nose, you're like, wow, that was fast.
He cuts distance so quick as well. But Colin, his trainer, he trained Mudakwan, is it? Taekwondo?
Mudakwan, yeah.
Yeah, he was like black belt at 11 or something like that. And, he's just, Colin takes no bullshit. Colin just says, that's the way it is, a bit like Richard. That's the way it is, that's what you got to do, that's what you're doing. And since Darren's had that influence in his life, like Liam said, and obviously the story about him going to Brazil, he's just been another level.
What makes a guy naturally talented? Like, you take a guy like Darren Till. Like, when you say naturally talented, like, what is about a guy like that just picks things up quicker?
I don't know. It's hard to explain. Some people just walk into a Bad Company gym and they'll have 2-3 lessons and they'll just be able to, they'll have that flow, the movement, the rhythm and stuff like that. And Darren was like that ever since, I remember when he first started, I remember his coach saying, I've got this kid, you need to see him. You need to come and look at him. Southpaw, should see him kick. He's only been training a few months. And when I saw him, I was like, he looks like he's a seasoned pro, 5-6 years of training. We've had plenty like that walking in our gym at Bad Company. And they'll come in, they'll have a few fights and they're like, oh, it's all right, this. But as soon as it gets hard and the level steps up and they realise how hard they have to work to actually compete at that level, that's the end of them. You don't really see him anymore. And it's like the biggest waste of talent you've ever seen. We've had plenty like that walk through our gym. Yeah. It's not many.
Talent's not enough.
No, not when you get to that level. It is to a certain level when you can get yourself out of jail, but when the level steps up and everyone's working hard and people who are as talented as you are working hard, then that's when you're going to be in trouble. That's why Darren's gone off and done what he's done. That's why, and shown what he's all about.
How was the weight cut with the Wonder Boy? Because I know you struggled with that. We actually watched the weight cut video before you came in, and that looked brutal.
Listen,
as if you nearly killed yourself to cut weight.
I know you've had Tony Bellew on and that, and he used to be an extreme weight, wasn't he? There ain't a man alive who used to cut weight like me. Who had the mentality for it. I used to be an extreme, unhealthy weight. Like it was damaging.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, I used not the last weight cuts that I had for Masvidal and Wonderboy. Like me Woodley weight cut was fine, but not fine at this. Listen, look at the size of me. I was making 77 kilos, and I was extreme weight cutting. It was like 40 kilos, 30 kilos cutting it. But then like the night before weigh-ins, cutting like 10 kilos. To be honest, I was in the business of being the best weight cutter, and I did enjoy it. But my last weight cut to 170 was against Masvidal, and I remember going blind a few hours before weighing. I remember we got to the hotel, and it was the night before weigh-ins, and I remember I'd done my usual. I do like a 50-minute run with 4 layers of clothing on, with all my sweet sweats, you know, like the gels and that. Lost weight, went and hit pads, and I was still so far off. And Colin was just like, what the fuck are we going to do? And I was like, put me back on the treadmill, I'm going to run again. He's like, and Colin is so brutal, but even Colin was like, nah, you can't. I was like, get me back on that treadmill now. I went back on the treadmill, and at this point I was just on the treadmill, and the screen was like just fuzzing, and I was going, wow. And I was just toddling along, and then I was hitting my pads, still had weight to go. And I was like, right, Col, just let me go and sleep for a few hours and I'll carry on. He was like, Darren, I can't, no. I said, Col, just trust in me, please, I know what I'm doing. He's like, Darren. Went to sleep, woke up. All right, I went on another run, and at this point, I was just like, literally, I couldn't even move. My body was shutting down, and I was just going blind. And then I had like 0.4 grams to go, which sounds nothing, but it's a lot at that point. Your body's not giving nothing more. I'd done my saunas and everything, and then Colin went to sleep. And I was in the room with my friend at the time, and he was sleeping. And I don't know if he heard me wake up or not, but I got up, put my clothes on, and I thought, right, if I walk the Asda, I'll lose that weight. So I started walking the Asda, and I just had to sit on like a bench, and I was blind. And I had to like grab my phone, half like dial it, and I was like, Col, I'm blind here, I can't move. Col come running along, Col and John come running along, and they had to like hurdle me back to the hotel. They were like, and I was just like, wow. And then when I was going to weigh in, he was like, Darren, look strong. And I was like that on the scales, just like, wow. And you know, I can give the excuses that I got beat because of the weight cut. I got beat by the better man on the night. I'm a better fighter than the 3 guys I've lost to. This is what I tell you. If I didn't believe that, I'd probably half quit now. I know I'm better than the 3 people that have beat me. I know that for a fact. But to do a weight cut like that 24 hours before you're fighting the best people in the world is just like mentally insane.
How much stress is that on your team as well, knowing that it's close every time?
A lot of
Must
stress.
Be difficult.
A lot of stress on Colin, my teammates, even a lot of stress on the UFC. They're putting these events on, main events. Like I've sold out the Echo, Madison Square Garden, I've sold out the O2 Arena, and I've sold them up the quickest. Like, we're talking combat sports. Like, think about that if that fight doesn't go ahead, because I've collapsed through extreme weight cutting. Like, I used to do the most brutal weight cuts, but again, only myself to blame, because 10 weeks before that, I'm fucking sat there
cheeseburgers
watching Narcos Mexico. So we've had this conversation. I'm not going to sit here and blame anyone, and I'm going to take all my losses in life and I'm going to put them all onto me. My last loss, I mean, my last fight, fucking, I'm happy, but I'm sad. I should have just fucking went for it, and I know I'd have got him out of there, but, you know, everything that's happened inside the cage and outside, these losses are all down to me. They ain't down to no one else. That's how I think. That's how I like to look at it. It makes me stronger knowing that I nearly missed weight because of me. Not because Colin was shoving cheeseburgers in my face, because I, 10 weeks before the fight, was eating how I shouldn't have ate. Now, don't get me wrong, at middleweight now, I'm comfortable. I can eat what I want. You know, I'm not the strictest on my diet, but at welterweight, for me to stay at welterweight would have been 365 days a year, probably just eating leaves, because I was just too big for the weight.
When you got at the jail in Tenerife, how long were you in for?
4 days.
How was that?
I'll tell you what, mate. I hope I never go to jail.
They don't fuck about over there.
I listen. I'm one of these people. I actually, I've got a really good friend who's in jail now, and he rings me every weekend. He just rings me to just, as you say, shoot the shit. He just talks about life, and I always say to him, I say, listen, mate, I want to be honest with you. Because he goes to me, like, you're mentally strong. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not mentally strong for them jails because I'm like, I'm never going to jail. He's like, the guys got us. Like, so the police turned up, like, in the street. The taxi was, like, all the way up the street. And the first thing they said was, Darren Till. And I was like, yeah, but I was like, I haven't done nothing. 10 of them, get on the ground now. And I was like, what? I haven't done anything. Cuffed me. Sent me and me 4 mates to the cells, mate, the roughest. I had to have a shit in the corner of one of the cells because they wouldn't let me go to the toilet. So my mate who was in the cell with me was like, Darren, get rid of that shit, it fucking stinks, it's got flies. I was like, there's nowhere else to put it, they wouldn't let me go for shit. But what's hilarious about that story is when they put us in the cells, the first night, one of the guards, he was like must have been a lieutenant or whatever, come to see me, he was like, Darren, I'm a big fan. He was like, do you need anything? And I was like, fucking a little bit of food. It'd be nice to go on my phone. He was like, I'll sort it, no worries. So he comes back like, he went, is that your good mate as well? And my mate's looking at me as if to say, yeah, Darren, I'm fucking hungry as well. Comes back, big fucking breasted chicken, rice, avocado, salad, and a smoothie. And he went, go and sit in the holding area. I'll give you your phones. And I was like, this is some guy this. So we were eating, I was on the phone, and at that point no one knew about it, but my girlfriend had texted me, she's like, where are you, haven't heard from you? I was like, listen, I'm in jail, I've been nicked, I'll be out in a few days. And then I couldn't see a reply because I had to get off my phone. We was just in there for 4 days, mate. It was the grimmest thing ever. We were eating like these stale crackers every day. It was grim. Like, that chicken breast was the best thing about it. Every day was fucking horrible. And then we got out, and the judge just didn't fuck about. He was just like, you cheeky bastards, you come in here, you think you can fucking do this, do that. He was like, give me your passports, 15,000 euros to leave the fucking island. My friends didn't have any money, so I had to pay the 15,000 euros. We tried to go round to sleep in hotels when we got out until the money had cleared, the international money. Every hotel had been sent a fax from the police station, don't let these guys stay here. So we were going and they were like, can't. We ended up having to stay in this little apartment. And then at that point, the Daily Mail, the Daily Star, the Mirror, the Echo, it just came out. And I was just getting phone calls, and I was just like, airplane mode, bump, fuck that shit.
Did somebody steal a taxi?
Sorry?
Did someone steal a taxi?
Yeah, well...
I read this story and I was laughing because I'm thinking, man, if that was me, I'd been in the fucking taxi with them, man.
I'll tell you the God's honest truth about this story. I won't hold nothing back. I actually wasn't meant to go on this trip. They were going for one of our mates' birthdays to Tenerife, and they told me about it. And I went and said to Col, I said, Col, I'm all right to miss a few days of training, I'm going to go to Tenerife. Col's one of them, he's very silent in what he says, but he's got a tone to him. And he went, listen, I don't think it's a good idea, son, because you're not all there, but okay. Because as I said, I'm 100%. I won't just go out and drink 5 pints. I'll go out and drink 100 pints and steal taxis. That's what I do. That's my thing. But I said, okay, Col, sound. I said, I'll be good. So we got there the first night. These guys had booked themselves a 5-star hotel. I just jumped on the holiday. So got there, 5-star hotel, got in the room, fucking lovely, lavish. Right, let's get out there. So we went out to like the strip in Tenerife. Everyone knew me. Yes, Darren buying me shots. So that was it. Just fucking going insane. Ended up in this proper exclusive bar. We were just going mental. Ended up in McDonald's, blah, blah, blah. Got a taxi back to the hotel. Now, I've done this a few times before this incident, so I must have a thing for it. As my mates are walking through the hallway, I've grabbed the fire extinguisher and just went, just sprayed them. Next minute, one of them have grabbed the fire extinguisher. We went in the room, and do you know what? I'm actually quite embarrassed talking about this. It's funny, but it's actually, I shouldn't have done it. We've destroyed the room. We're throwing mattresses off the balcony. Then some guy, I think my friend has actually got a video, some guy at the bottom started shouting. I've got a texture, flew it off the balcony. And he's like, he's just like, what, gone back in? We're just going mental. We've grabbed our suitcases before the hotel staff could come. We've went out the fire exit. We've gone up this hill. We've went to another hotel. We've rang a taxi to the hotel. As this taxi's come, I've sat in the back of the taxi. We're all loading our suitcases into into the back. One of my friends has jumped in what he thought was the passenger side, but it was the driver's side over there to the side. And I went, what are you doing? He went, fuck, I thought it was the Pazzy side. He went, fuck it anyway. And I went, no, lad. And I'm in the back going, stop it. I'm going, drive it back now. We'll be okay. And he's like, nah, fuck that. He went on a whole trip around the island. He was doing donuts and skids. And I'm in the back going, crying. I'm going, stop the taxi, please. Lad, we're going to get fucked. He skidded the taxi, bombed it out. So I've ran the other way. I've thought I need to get away from him. Fuck that. And I've sat by this car and I've thought I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to act like I'm running away or anything. I've sat here. Then he's come running back and I've went, no, get away from me, lad. Go somewhere else. He saw attention. Next minute, these busies have just all pulled up and just grabbed us. They just knew straight away and they were just like, fuck.
Have the guns out and that?
They had the guns out. They all knew who I was. They must have been, like, they were big fans and that. But any excuse to arrest me, they were going to arrest me and that was it. And then I didn't really come out to anyone and say I didn't steal a taxi or anything. It was just basically Darren Till steals taxi in Tenerife. You have to go with that headline. I can't come out and say I didn't steal a taxi, even though I didn't.
That's you sticking your friend on as well, innit?
That's it. I've classed him. Say no names. But listen, I took the rap for him. I got a few fucking beatings off. I was in a party, wasn't I? And I wasn't having trouble with this gang of lads. I was just in a party and one of my mates was just fighting with this gang of lads. And, you know, obviously just fucking being psychotic, I just went over to just try and sort it. So I just started having, like, murder with this group of lads. But at that point, the club was just going insane. I felt like everyone was having murder when I think back to it. And some lad come behind me and stabbed me and I didn't feel it. I had a white t-shirt on. Because when I looked at it after on the cameras, you see what happens. So I'm just like hitting everyone in my way. And this lad comes up and he stabs me once and then he walks away. But I haven't moved or anything. I'm just fighting. I haven't felt it. And then he comes back around and he's like, fucking hell, this fucking kid's still fighting. And he does it again. And then, mate, for like, I'd say 10 minutes after that, I was still fighting. I was fighting with the doorman. Do you know what? Just to like put it in a nutshell, I fucking battered everyone in view. Like I couldn't be stopped. People were smashing bottles on me head and everything. The doorman were fucking even cracking me and I wouldn't go down. I just went psychotic. And then I got backed up by the doorman and loads of people. My mates were just going mad. Like I don't even know where they were. I got backed into a corner in the toilets and they were like, Darren, you need to, like I knew the doorman. They were like, you need to stop. You've been stabbed. And I was like, I haven't. I was going mental. And then I looked down and my top was just red. It just changed the colour red. And I was like, whoa. I was like, nah, fuck that. And I was on the toilet seats thing and I was kicking the door and that. And then as I've come out the toilet, I'm still fighting. And next minute, I've just got like a surge of like I come down and I just went, whoa. And like collapsed on the stairs. And I was like, this is what I remember back to. I was like, whoa, I can't even move. And then the doorman, they dragged me up to the front doors of the club in town. And the head doorman, he pulled me against the wall. And this is the God's honest truth, I remember this bright as day. So I'm sat there and he's going, you've been stabbed, Dad. I need to put my fingers in your wound. So I think he had like army, so he put his fingers in my wound and he's going, I need you to stay awake. And I was going, nah. And I kept trying to like shut my eyes. And he was going, Darren, I can't let you shut your eyes. You're not dying. He was saying all that stuff to me. So he had his fingers in my wound and like, I'm just like that, whoa, what's going on? And I remember like seeing all people around like crying and that. And then I seen like blue flashing lights, the ambulance, and he's still got his, and I wanted to go to sleep at this point. I was just like, well, nah, just let me sleep. And I believe to this day, if I would have like went to sleep, I would have died. Because where I'd been stabbed was so close to my arteries. Like even the doctor who did the surgery on me, he's like, Darren, one more little bit and it had ruptured both your arteries, you wouldn't have survived. So like I think of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember being in the ambulance and I was going to the woman, just tell me if I'm going to die. And she wouldn't answer me. And I was going, just tell me if I'm... And she kept turning her head and I was going, they had me strapped with my arms and I started like shaking the thing and I was going, just fucking tell me if I'm going to die. And she was like, no, you're not going to die. And I remember getting carted off to the hospital and I woke up like 2 days later or something and my mum and some friends and that like standing at the end of my bed.
From me? So,
go away from. I can speak to you however I like.
I'm just interested.
Well, sir, be interested, sir.
I'm flattered that you're going to get issued with a fine.
You ain't issuing me with nothing. You ain't, do what you want. Let's go to court, whatever. You're a bully. You're a bully boy. You're a bully boy. Get out my car now. Fuck off.
Well, before you move.
Go away.
Before you move, I'm going to check your vehicle over now.
Check what you want, pal. Check what you want. Pal. Check what you want. Check it all. Check it all. Check it all. Look at him. What? You're a loser. Never have a problem with police, right? Never. You see you're a bully boy loser. Now get the fuck out my car right this minute.
Before you move.
No, listen, you're Sammy, yeah, but why am I at my local garage getting water and he's coming out asking me about a mask? And I said to him, mate, I'm exempt. He said, have you got proof? I said, I've got no proof right now, no.
So if you'd had,
okay, so let me on my way then. Is that how bad a pet? What is it? What is it?
If you're able to get some
mate, go away. Go away now. You're a muppet. Get away. Get out my face. Look how you've got me speaking. Kids and everybody watching this thinking I'm in the wrong. You are a bully boy loser. This is what you do. You go to gyms. You bully everyone in gyms. You're a bully boy, mate. Go away.
You are in the wrong because
I'm in the wrong for not wearing a mask. Get a grip of your life, you soft cunt. Fuck off. Get away.
In a public place.
Right, alright, you've got me details. Are you going to arrest me?
No, I don't need
so
to.
send the fine wherever you want.
No,
go on. I don't give a fuck, I spit. I've got a problem. I've got a medicinal condition with spitting.
Really?
Right, are you off? Are you going? Send the fine to wherever.
Do me a favour, just turn your wheels to the
mate,
side.
don't worry, send what type of fine you want because I can afford it.
Check your
No,
tyres.
fuck off.
Check your tyres.
Don't need to check me tyres. Go away. Go away. Go away. You ain't touch. Do not touch my vehicle. Do not touch my vehicle. Go away right this minute. Do not touch my vehicle. Go tell him to he's looking at me to me. Go away. Mate, you need to go away. I ain't checking nothing. Do what you want, lad. Go away.
I'm going to check your tyres before you leave.
Do what you want.
I've already told you what I'm going to do.
Get off my door right now.
I need to move.
Get off my door. Go that way. Do you think I'm going to make you?
Go, whichever way.
Fuck off. Mate, you're a sad loser, you know. You're a loser. Get off my car now. Get off my car. Oh my, what are you doing, mate? What you think you've got some kind of man? Get out my car, you soft cunt. Hey, you need to, not you, mate, you know what you are, son. He needs to get a life. Right, move. Bye-bye. You fucking loser. You're a loser. Fucking muppet. See that, people? Right? I've come out. Let me just get my seatbelt on so this cunt can't fucking get me. I've come out of my local garage on the way to the gym to get petrol and water, yeah? And as I've come out the garage, this officer has stepped out of his vehicle, come straight into my personal space and said, why aren't you wearing a mask? And I said, because I'm exempt. He said, well, have you got any proof? I said, not on me at the moment. I said, but I had a fight. Well, what kind of fight did you have? I said, I'm a professional fighter, I fight for a living. So I got my nose broken. My last fight, I had struggle breathing. The spire, fucking whatever, fucking fingered me. Just a fucking wrong and muppet. Sorry about that, people. Sorry about that. Losing me time.